Are we actually in 2030 and the calendar has it wrong? Watch this.
Has 12 months of 30 days each, with a 13th month that has 5 days, and 6 on a leap year, which occurs after every 4 years. The difference of the 7 to 8 years between the Ethiopian and Gregorian calendars results from an alternative calculation in determining the date of the birth of Jesus. According to the Ethiopian calendar, Jesus was born in 7 BC, while the Gregorian one claims that Jesus was born in 1 AD, thus creating the 7-year and 8-month difference. The Gregorian calendar has been subject to criticism. In 2012, Pope Benedict XVI argued that the Christian calendar was based on miscalculation, and Jesus was born earlier than previously believed, sometime between 7 BC and 2 BC, meaning the Christian calendar based on the year of his birth is off by several years. By the time the Gregorian calendar was introduced, the Julian calendar had already been in use for almost 1,600 years, after which the Gregorian version was implemented to represent modernization and improvement in date keeping. Who initiated the Julian calendar, introduced this Egyptian solar calendar, taking the length of the solar year as 365 and a quarter days, which had exaggerated the year with 11 minutes and 14 seconds. Secondly, the excess leap days that were introduced by the Julian calendar had caused the calendar dates of the seasons to regress by almost 1 day per 100 years. For planning on a visit to Ethiopia, the date isn't the only thing you will be cross-checking, but the time as well. Don't wait for me to say they have 25 hours instead of the normal 24, but the way of reading or telling the clock is what is different from the rest of the world, just like the calendar. Similar to the Swahili way of telling the clock, the day starts at dawn and runs till dusk, unlike the rest of the world, where the day runs from midnight to midday. Due to Ethiopia's location near the equator, sunset and sunrise are mostly constant all year round, and are defined as 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. respectively in standard time. This thus means that 7 a.m. is the first hour of the day, and is read as 1 in the morning instead of 7 a.m. An easy adjusting to this time is to subtract 6 hours from the standard clock time. So technically speaking, Ethiopia is not really behind the rest of the world, it is just the type of the calendar they use that brings the difference. This is also the reason Ethiopia will always remain a historical country, and a role model to many nations, for not abandoning their traditions which have been passed down to many generations for centuries, and by the look of things, this tradition will continue.
So is it possible we're in 2030 right now? Let me know what you think, because that kind of just